Last video for The Walking Dead on crack, 60,000 people dropped so many views on my channel, I shot up the Pornhub model rankings, resting at the #1 slot, so thank you guys for all that. But more importantly, I also predicted the Queen of England's death at 3 minutes in that video, so that's a little bit of a show director right there. My power of future sight knows no bounds, and for a small price of 1 subscription, I'll give you your future as well. Also, I lost it when I found out they actually do the 3 cheers hip hip hooray thing unironically. Thought it was something you'd only find in SpongeBob.
Hip hip!
Anyways, as promised, let's go sniff some crack off another walker's ass and start The Walking Dead on Crack Part 2. Episode 3 starts with me and Kenny using the secret Russian army technique to get our 60 minutes of cardio in, to improve performance when spinning around the ops' block, since Kenny asked me to help him become more, urban? And we get an overview of Macon, or the remnants of it. Looks as healthy as a hooker who started collecting all the STDs like Pokemon cards. Kenny is still feeling that nephrotic pain after the Monstar stole his brain last episode, leaving him to charge an inbred with a gun. We find a plane seductively crashed into Everett prescriptions, getting deeper than any Reddit moderator ever will. Don't even know how that happened. I assume the US military got desperate enough to hire ISIS militias, who couldn't resist playing into building the first chance they got. Kenny makes it up, but the latter looks about as stable a situation as Chris Chan right now, so I decide to use the Jeep instead. Kenny says he's got me and drops my ass after I tell him lolicons don't deserve the death penalty. Can't really blame him, honestly. As I berate him saying Jim Crow was ages ago and this isn't cool anymore, we hear a scream. Apparently a woman's trying to let the walkers know that the British are coming or some shit. She rings a dinner bell for every zombie within range and this bitch forgets to zigzag. Lee evidently doesn't mind the stank this girl's obviously making, looking like she just shared a night with Saudi princes.
What the hell is even that?
Almost passed out just from looking at her. We let her into camp, everyone's gonna be jumping the fences, begging the walkers to let him switch sides. This one walker's freaky though. Where we see anything out of the chum bucket, or even worse, Arby's, all he sees is a Chick-fil-A biscuit and digs in. We want to put her out of her misery, but Kenny over here acting like evil Kermit. They don't know we're here. The IRS won't notice 20K missing, but he's got a point here. No reason to put this girl out of her misery when we can use her tragic death for more time. It could be worse. I mean, we could be trying to use her for YouTube views. So we play the minigame of trying to get every good available, but like a tampon soaked past its limit, we eventually have to get out of there. Somehow the walkers out there have the dad thermostat spidey sense, and sensed me rummaging through their used panties and the Goodwill donations, and they can't have that in their fine establishment. They might be walkers, but they have standards, goddammit, and bust in like Batman after catching someone jaywalking. Kenny helps get the door off of me, with the Air Force One's pilot getting dishonorably discharged for trying to take the underwear back and given a demonstration of Vlad the Impaler's methods. Finally, me and Kenny make a clean getaway through the drugstore Russie.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
If you want to keep going, I will keep going tonight. What's up?
Arrows! I'm sure that's not gonna be a plot point. Don't know how they'd make it one. We have rifles while they're coming in like Robin Hood. Gonna give him that Christopher Columbus wham bam pow, your nation's mine now, if they run through our block again. Clementine welcomes me back with the stickers Ben got for her. Glad it could be useful for more than sitting his ass up on watch. Lee uses electromagnetic waves instead of knocking. Don't know why, it's Lily, she isn't that scary. Oh god, never mind. A blowjob from this looks more appealing than one from her. Before Larry, our Lord and Savior, died, he apparently bestowed the rank of Goblin Mode unto Kenny.
Looks like we got the kid on watch again.
What'd you get?
We might as well leave a sign out that says the men are gone. Come and rape our women and children.
That's called motherfucking bars, nigga! You know nothing about that!
It's funny how Ben wasn't even supposed to be on watch. He really is the glorified douchebag of our group. We get a butt ton of supplies from the pharmacy. You won't get this amount of tonnage in the caboose with the Kardashians' plastic surgeon. And Lily's happy, spouting some bullshit on how we'll survive the winter here. Winter? Winter? This motel probably didn't have any heating before the power went out. I'd be surprised if this motel had more purposes than being a pirate haven for hookers before the apocalypse. And you expect us to survive winter here with no heating? What are we, Europeans?
You're the way down.
Also, someone's stealing our supplies. That might be important too. Carly!
It's probably worth following up with Lily about what
Yeah.
With her wound up the way she is, I don't want to see her paranoid.
I need emergency underwear. One bored pair later and I follow up with Lily about the supplies, and it isn't food or clothing. It's the important stuff with opium.
It's not fair!
Lily doesn't want to start a witch hunt because that would be dangerous for her, so she decides sending the only black guy is an acceptable risk. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I see. Her evidence is that there was a tossed flashlight, which doesn't really make sense since we repair equipment, not throw it out, and the only reason someone would toss it is if they had it when they shouldn't have, which, yeah, but that doesn't mean someone's stealing. Benny's at that age and there's no girls desperate enough around. You can't blame him, that flashlight kinda sounds like fleshlight.
If you don't find anything, I'm just going to assume it's you.
I can't even joke about the racism anymore. She's literally giving me a guilty till proven innocent case.
Looks like
Jim Crows.
back on the menu, boys.
Duck's been peeping the entire time like the little "you forgot to collect the homework, missy" shit he is and wants to help us with the investigation. So I tell him to go look for clues by snorting all the paint from canisters out back and he's on the case. I tell Carly what happened and we get the greatest sequence of flirtatious mastery I think I've ever witnessed.
Thinking a lot about you.
I think about you too.
Our group is small.
You're small.
You're a convicted killer.
That took a fucking turn. Even Andrew Tate's got nothing in the playbook for that. Actually, that's a lie. He'd probably tell me to slap her to assert alpha male supremacy before pimping her out for a Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme or something.
What color's your brigade?
She makes a good point, though. Lily's probably gonna tell people unless Larry didn't say shit to her, which is unlikely considering Larry's been carrying racism on his back post-apartheid.
He's just always blaming me for stuff.
Like what?
Putting a bug on his pillow?
Did you do that?
Yes.
My Sherlock Holmes origin story continues with Katja telling me there's some glass on the ground near the ice machine, and I decide to tell Kenny my secret, which I'll paraphrase. I was on my way to prison 3 months ago. No shit? I don't know how you'd imprison Saudi princes, but no shit. Cupcake? No cupcake. Yeah, we good then. I also tell Clementine because she probably already knows, what with Carly last episode busting into my parents' room screaming, "Hey, I know you killed a guy found balls deep in the missus," for no apparent reason right in front of Clementine. Clem doesn't approve or disapprove. She just goes back to coloring without showing any sort of emotion. Holy shit, this is painful. I wish she'd just cry or something. The writing team was really writing in the furnace of hell when they made this story. Ben also pleads the fifth. Honestly, my fleshlight story is what I'm going with so far. He's way too flustered in this exchange. I pick up the glass and yup, perfect match. Someone wrote a pink X on the side of the building. Duck's dumbass comes in like, "Pink? Look, I didn't think he'd actually huff the paint, okay? I asked Clementine for pink chalk and she goes, "Nope, I was robbed. Someone took it from me." Kinda like, you know, when we robbed the station
No, it's okay.
Duck apparently found a pink chalk and scuff mark near the garbage disposal, which, damn, nice work. He requests a high five and you bet your ass I gave it to him. I want to be thought of as incredibly awesome by someone other than my mother. The mark near the dumpster really lends more credence to my fleshlight theory, because the best place to dispose of seminal fluid in this situation without running water would be the dumpster. But just as I'm about to expose Benny for ejaculating on the job, I get to a vent and wouldn't you know it, jackpot. I inject some of it, most of it, okay, all of it, before sending the remains back to Lily, and with this proof, we're ready to confront the perpetrators and line them up and whoa, no, too far. Stop. As Lily tries to convince me to be her Joseph Goebbels, bandits somehow have our people. Ben, you were masturbating into the dumpster when you were supposed to be on watch again, weren't you? Lily tells me to distract them while she roleplays American Sniper, and I'm like, shit. So I put my diplomatic skills through a trial by fire.
We have more supplies. We can keep the deal going.
Too late, shithead!
We have goth girlfriends we haven't even shown yet. Big titty, big titty.
Is that so? Well, I suppose we ought to hash out some terms then.
Boom goes the dynamite as Lily flips this guy's off switch while Carly John fucking wicks her way through the scraps, and as it's my turn for a badass game-saving play, I fumble. I make up for my critical failure with consecutive headshots to power down the enemy's CPUs permanently as this fucker gets munched by Walker, blows his load everywhere, attracting the rest of the horde. Clementine's saved, but that hug might have been the end for Katja and Duck had Lee not proven his urbanness with that thang once again. Lily looked like she was gonna 300 this shit before hopping in last second, and I guess we're going with Kenny's RV plan after all. What do former presidents say about becoming a Civ Lifer subscriber? Trump, how big did your dick grow after clicking subscribe?
It's really gonna be big. It's not just big, it's huge.
Bush, what do you think of TCLR subscribers?
Weapons of mass destruction.
Biden, what do you say to people who don't want to subscribe?
Will you shut up, man?
Listen,
Bill Clinton, what has subscribing to the Civ Lifer given you?
Indeed, I did have a relationship.
That's right, by leaving a like and subscribing, you too can engage in the lucrative corruption of Washington, D.C., as well as have pecs so thick you'll be able to catch bullets with more effectiveness than Abe Lincoln's skull, and two, more importantly, not miss out on future content. Remember earlier when Lily said,
Stupid. I know what happens if I start a witch hunt.
yeah, she starts a witch hunt. Lily goes after Ben after he vouched for Carly too, and would've came after me if I didn't possess the mythical Lee log, no doubt about it. She uses proof that they've talked at least, hold on, been together.
I just want to talk to him.
Why do you have a shotgun?
Kenny hits a walker at the worst time, really. The timing of a pizza man ringing the doorbell while balls deep in the misses, and we get out and leave it to a vote per Lily's own request. I say it could have been Filthy Frank sneaking into our base. He's been off the grid for a while. Kenny says fuck no, and Carly and Ben aren't going to incriminate themselves. Not only that, but Carly gives her the work, shows her how it's done. Lily might have skipped college for the Air Force, but Carly gave her all the schooling she'd ever need here. Eloquently batters her verbally. I thought I was watching the final rap in 8 Mile again. So votes over 5-1. 3 cheers for democratic values.
Hip, hip! Hip, hip! Hip, hip!
Lily? Carly? The sound of sweet murder turned Lee on, it seems. You getting busy here or what? But there's no time for that, as with Lily murdering a group member in cold blood, and Carly no less.
It should have been me, not him! It's not—
Yeah, we're leaving this crazy bitch. She tries to tell everyone I was a murderer, but she falls for my trap card, and Kenny tells her to fuck off. Murder is completely, unequivocally halal. Lily tries one last desperate plea for her life, but you should have thought of that before murdering a member of the group, calling you out for going to Cranbrook.
That's a private school!
After we send Lily to the Shadow Realm, Katja wants to talk to me. Hey, what's up, guys? Oh, Duck has been bitten. I was wondering why the little crackhead wasn't running around like he took a caffeine pill in rectal form. Hold on, that's actually probably a fetish. I don't know how the walker attack earlier got him. The walker's mouth was nowhere near the abdomen, but I'll chalk that up to the walker hiding another walker head in its pelvis for pleasurific purposes. I tell Clementine the good news, who takes it well and asks,
What about Carly?
Carly? Carly? Lily had the Magnum send out a hypothalamus-seeking missile, and you want a Carly? She's gone. She tells a story of how she almost dropped the payload on my head in episode 1. Good to know I wasn't completely off in Lee's home invasion adventure last episode. All of a sudden, bam, Clem's wake up and is trying to take control of a pigeon or some shit and is getting out of control. But like anytime I think I have a girlfriend, it turns out it's just a dream. You would think our luck at this point would change, right? Wrong. We got a fucking train blocking our path. You can't make this shit up. I feel like I'm a guy in a Sims game modeled after a girl's ex who just dumped her. Apparently some dude's been living here, so Lee can't resist the urge and uses the Omnitrix to summon King Von again and snags the water and map, which shows this train is conveniently taking us to Savannah. Duck looks about as dead as a fucking ventriloquist puppet right now, you sticking your hand up his ass.
How you doing? Should you have a seat over in that chair, please?
It's about all the movement he can do right now. No way he survives the day. After a minor scare with the walker who already had half his head blown off, Ben is like, press the button. No, press the button. Press here. I'll do it. This waste man didn't have enough of a high letting the bandit sneak into camp. He's trying to add another point to the boys' lead total. Kenny comes in and starts going to work on the train while I'm left to do all the manual labor and start it. I don't like where this is going. I take a big steel wrench and start weighing it like a fucking watermelon for some reason. Gonna start shaking it to see if it's ripe too. I proceed to find a pencil, scribbling in the indentations, and starting the train. There's a train car stuck though, and I gotta go remove the adhesive dildo before come. Oh my goodness, it's a redneck. My greatest weakness. He asks if I robbed him, but I scream racial profiling with a Twitter in one hand and he backs off. The homeless man gives everyone candy, which is its own problem in and of itself, but with Ben here like he just ate out his girl on her period and is reviewing the aroma, I think we know Chuck's probably spiked the Mike and Ikes. We bring Chuck along after he pinky promises he probably isn't a Minecraft YouTuber, and Kenny's like, yeah, the kid looks fine, he's an angel. Yeah, maybe a biblically accurate one, but I can't convince him. I hit the lever and we get rolling and everything's looking good, until we snap back to reality with Chuck dissing Ben, and Duck beginning to cough up blood. Ew, Ben, you into this shit? Kenny, look at this shit. Ben's into that? Yeah, it's crazy. Fuck. Also, your kid's going to meet Disney. You mean Disney World? No. Walt Disney. We convince Kenny to stop the train and he goes through every stage of grief until him and Katja go to the forest to say their goodbyes. As I'm trying to explain to Clem how we lost half our group in a day,
What the? No! go!
And I bolt. Gotta make sure that Logan Paul isn't endangering his YouTube career again, but it turns out it was just Kaja being a better fan of Walt Disney than I first suspected. I take the Glock and finish off Duck. Back on the train, Clementine tells me that Chuck walked up to her and offered her Discord admin, and I couldn't believe this shit. I'm gonna go talk some sense into him. In all seriousness, he tells Clem and I need to get a plan and to cut her hair and to urbanize her, which, yeah, he's got a point. So to thank him, and hopefully take him off the streets for good, making the world a better place, I get him some alcohol to speed up his decaying body. By the time I'm done with him, it's gonna be interchangeable with a Walker's. I tell Kenny to go drown his sorrows away, and he agrees, leaving me free to steal the map. As I'm making my way back, Ben pipes up. I did it. He sold us off to the ops. This stupid motherfucker ruined everything. This football figurine attachment is the reason episode 3 happened the way it did. This first 1,000 seats gets a free bobblehead looking motherfucker. Probably intentionally left his post and let the bandits surround us. This guy's got us so pissed off he's got Lee mean mugging like he dropped the dunk of the decade. One last look of shame and we leave Greg from Diary of a Wimpy Kid to go deal with Clementine. We cut Clem's hair, and after she bravely starts the transgender movement and gives us the mopey look of disappointment, we teach her how to use that motherfucking thang. After she's ready to join me in my DeBaby level crime sprees, we plan out our heist. The Marsh house is where her parents spend most of their days out when they're going to Savannah, and knowing they're people of culture just like ourselves, we decide meeting them is our utmost priority. Unfortunately, the great train heist can't be made since there's a fucking oil tanker in the way. How the fuck is our luck like this? Did this man fuck your mother or some shit? Not only did we lose half our group members at this point, but apparently they took all the chromosomes with them. Walk? Walk, Ben? That's a fucking stupid idea. You know who could really use a walk right now? Carly. But she can't now, can she, you fucking main character from Ratatouille looking ass? Motherfucker. You got a rat stuck in that combed over cover for male pattern baldness toupee you got going on. And then Chuck's like, why don't we just move it? Move what? The truck filled with ignitable gasoline? You trying to one-up Bin Laden or some shit? Might not be the worst thing to overcome, though. The American military can't be too far away at this point. What with the free oil and everything? Even the two strangers couldn't believe this bullshit, and wait a minute. New people? I immediately sprint up, get on my knees, and beg Omid and Krista to take me with them. Unfortunately, Clementine makes them want to stay with us, though not too bad overall since it's still a positive. After getting a "you're not her dad" jab from Krista, I bring down Chuck and Ben's subs as Omid learns how to work the train with Kenny, and I decide to explore an abandoned shack in a zombie apocalypse with an 8-year-old girl. Okay, maybe I'm the problem. That's not it, though. Apparently Lee's tired of Clementine's shit and's trying to go one-on-one with CPS. Cause what the hell is he doing here? Clem somehow opens the door after reaching in like 2 centimeters. How the hell did you unlock this? Looking at the door from the other side, there's no way it has some sort of lock on the top with this. I decide to put a wrench to block the door from closing, leaving me weaponless, and there's no way someone left a fucking blowtorch in this vicinity. Apparently we got Dora the Explorer's backpack providing the very specific tool we need at the right time. Either that or divine intervention from someone getting over their breakup. Yeah, Lee, you can't reach the keys, no shit. How are you a damn professor? I decide to throw in Clementine, but her face freezes after reaching the other side. Half expected her to start going. I whip out the Glock to show Man Ray who runs these streets, but all of a sudden the shit-stained bubble comes in for support and I wasn't expecting special forces. I back away, grab my weapon, and put him to sleep with my melatonin dispenser. Could've used some help with the heist, Clem, but there's no time for that as somehow there's a walker on the other side who didn't hear me tuck his friends in for bed. Clem, get the keys. She's not over the breakup yet. Krista comes in, gives me a look of disapproval, and walks off. Well, it looks like we can be expecting CPS to show up with the army, I suppose. Another heartfelt moment. Lee is more patient than I would have been, honestly, but that's why he's a goat. As I'm blowtorching like I got into my first fist fight ever in high school, Omid saves me from the crippling right hook I couldn't see coming, and to reward him...
God, you're a real son of a bitch, aren't you?
I mean, Krista already hates me, this doesn't really change much. Ben, how do you see the giant walker horde just now? I need contacts and my ass could have made out that horde from a mile away. With Ben doing his best to get that new kill streak, me and Omid are able to detach the fuel tank, miraculously prevent it from giving Ben the kill streak he wanted so badly, and now it's time to jump.
What? No way!
Alright.
Son of a... Ah!
I save Omid instead of Krista because I see this as a prime opportunity to get rid of her, and alright, Omid apparently hates me even more. I might have miscalculated. It's a good thing Krista outruns cheetahs for fun. Usain Bolt's prodigy shows up and all I have to deal with is her passive aggressiveness now. Clem asks if we're okay and I say yes, even though Omid's on that Joe from Family Guy difficulty right now. While Clementine is sleeping, we see the picture she drew. But more importantly, we've made it to Savannah, and...
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home.
there was, you know, nothing that was going to be sexual involved, because I'm not like that, you know. Well,
Shit. I think that's a pretty good point to leave off on. I was going to do episodes 3, 4, and 5, even though it was just 3 today, but I didn't want to cut down the script, and a 50-minute video, since this one's about 20 minutes and the other one's about 27 minutes, is just going to get struck down by the almighty algorithm. So I decided, hey, you know, it's going to take me about a week to finish episodes 4 and 5 anyway, so I might as well release episode 3, 20 minutes of good content today, and then I'll release the other one Friday, Saturday, Sunday if some sort of cataclysmic eruption happens, even though there are no volcanoes where I'm at, even though it's gonna look like I'm trying to milk this series for every drop it has, like a cow udder succubus or some shit. Again, Friday, Saturday is when I'll release part 2, and let me know down below in the comments if you have any other ideas. Season 2, Wolf Among Us, something like GTA 5 even, and yeah, check out these other videos in the top right and top left corner, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.